Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rekah Kodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom to you men and you women out there that's doing this work diligently and chiefly keeping the faith, making your calling and your election sure. This your brother Kazako Carr coming back at you with another video out of the GMS branch out here in Gary, Indiana. All right, hopefully this is edifying, okay? Now, this is an addition to the series that I'm doing on the channel called True History. Now, the title of this lesson is The Gullah Wars. All right, so this video is going to explain to you what that is, and then we're going to give precepts to actually back up what they're saying, all right, in this video. Okay, so let's get right into it.
Black history is taught like this. You started off as a slave, then white folks felt bad and decided to free you. Then civil rights legislation made you equal. And finally you achieved victory with Obama's election. The end. Of course that is ridiculous. That is the white supremacist version of black history. The end result of this miseducation is that black children are separated from their own people's legacy and historical achievements. Everybody in the world has the right to draw inspiration from their own people's legacy. And this right is robbed from black children because their history is actively hidden and distorted.
See, our history is actively hidden and distorted. You could read over in Psalms 83 how these enemies are taking crafty counsel against us, hiding our history, our heritage, cutting off the nose of our statues, you know what I'm saying, repainting our pictures. Right, so our history have been taken from us, and we are forced to learn about our enemy's history all throughout school, okay? So that's what he's going into. Our history didn't start, you know, from just going in chattel slavery. No, we have a rich, deep history, man, okay? And if we know our history, it's power within it. That's why they want us to forget it. The scriptures tell you in Deuteronomy 32:7, remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations, roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. See, that's what we're supposed to do. Go back and track our history because it's rich, filled with power, okay? And these enemies don't want us to know our history. That's why we started off in slavery, right? The school don't teach you nothing about slavery. I mean, Salakia. The school don't teach you nothing about your history. It only starts you off in 1619. But what happened during the times before that? Who were we? Right? That's something that the school will not show you. And if you show interest in your history, they'll try to dim your light. Okay, so this is that crafty counsel that the enemies have taken ultimately against Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, as well as his people too as well. Okay, so let's get back into the video.
For this video, we will carefully cover the facts on how black people became liberated from American chattel slavery. The miseducational system has taught us three gigantic myths about the freeing of the slaves. The first myth is that there was only some slave rebellions here and there, but not any kind of large-scale military resistance to slavery initiated and carried out by black men. The second myth is that any slaves who wanted freedom basically fled north to be granted freedom. The third myth is that the Civil War was the primary event that ended chattel slavery. The reality is that there was a series of battles, revolts, and rebellions that lasted from 1739 to 1858. This was the Gullah Wars. That is more than 100 years of warfare totally hidden from the American history books.
See, that's what they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know the fighting spirit that our people had, right? Hey, Jake has been rebelling against this wicked-ass demon for the longest, right? But they only show you good smiling niggas, right? They show you the people who are okay with this place, but they don't show you the ones who are constantly fighting, man, right? The ones who died, okay, for their people, right? That physically fought these people, man, over 100 years of bloodshed and fighting that they choose to not tell you about. All right, and that's what you're looking at through this video. If you didn't know about it, now you know about the Gullah Wars, man. right? If you knew about it, hopefully you learned some new things about what happened during that time, okay? But it was 100 years of fighting that the so-called black men, Hispanics, right, and Native Americans was doing, you know what I'm saying, to try to end chattel slavery, all right? And it's going to keep going into it. But ultimately, we are still in captivity. The scriptures tell you we are yet this day in our captivity, man. Right? So the energy and what these men did is still for something, right? Because the Lord is the one that put their spirit on them to do it. But ultimately, we are still in this captivity, man. And the only way to get out of this is when the Lord come back and deliver you. Hopefully, you're a part of the elect. Hopefully, I'm a part of the elect, man. Whoever's listening. Right, so this Gullah Wars was a broad span of 100 years of constant fighting, and it's going to continue to go into it.
History was disguised as the Seminole Wars. First of all, the Seminoles were not a real Native American tribe. They were Native Americans allied with and often led by black Africans.
See that? So, hey, they disguised it as the Seminole Wars, but hey, that's not what that was. If you go into the backdrop in the history of the Seminole Wars, they tell you that it was Indians and stuff attacking them. Nah, man. It was a combination of the tribes coming together, going against these people to stop that chattel slavery. All right? And then they put it under the facade of the Civil War. Okay? And you got to pay attention to what's going on.
Seminole literally means runaway. Maroon means fugitive. Gullah refers to the black Africans. The Emancipation Proclamation was a staged event, and it was designed to stop and historically hide the self-liberation process of Africans in America.
See, they constantly do that over and over again. Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Elaine Massacre, it's countless more, man. Right? And that's what this is about to go into. Every time Jake tried to prosper in this wicked-ass kingdom, known in the scriptures as Babylon, okay, Mount Seir, all right, Basra, okay, every time Jake tried to prosper in this wicked-ass place, these enemies brought him down. But ultimately, it was the Lord, because he said over in, let's get it, Salakia, it was just on my mind, Micah 2:10. Okay, let's get it. This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. This is what the Lord said. He says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction." So that's what's been happening to our people, man. You think that this is your rest, but every single time you tried to build in this country, you tried to march, you fought in their wars, and they constantly destroyed you. And they continue to destroy us to this day, right? Because this is not our rest. Our rest is in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Our rest is in our power and our true God, man. Okay? Not in a nation that cannot save us. But you got 2/3 that's constantly making a covenant with these damn people, constantly trusting in these nations, and they let us down every time. Right? They let them down every time, should I say. But the elect, they're not going to trust in this system. They're not going to trust in what's going on. They're not going to trust in the man, and they want to depart. Through the spirit, they want to depart, man. Right? This place is vexing unto the elect, man. Okay? So let's get back into this video.
Africans were brought into the Anglo-American New World Order, and many of these Africans maintained the goal to kill, crush, and destroy white supremacy. 1739, the Gullah War begins. Carolina was about to pass a security act which would require whites to be armed more often to prevent a slave uprising. So the slaves decided that this was the time to strike. About 20 of them went to the local store, stocked up on guns and ammo, killed the shopkeeper, and began a stoner rebellion. The rebels marched, and as they marched, their following grew larger and larger. They chanted out liberty as they marched, chasing the slave owners, killing them, and burning their houses down. After the rebellion, South Carolina passed the Negro Act, which prevented a future rebellion by limiting the rights of the slaves.
Now, check this stuff out, man. Check out the Seminole Wars. Check out the Negro Act that was put in place, and you will know that this is factual. But this was hidden from history, right? Some of the things that happened under the Negro Act is stopping large gathering of men, right? If Jake, it was a time where if Jake was hanging out all together, you know, a group of men hanging out together, they will stop that. Okay, you were susceptible to jail time, right? They didn't want men to congregate together. That's why it's another miracle, right? That the Lord got the men on the highways and the byways congregating together, and these enemies haven't came against us yet, right? But they're going to, okay? Because it's prophesied that, you know, this got to happen so that we can get into that kingdom of heaven, so that we can sacrifice, all right? But this is what that's about. This is what this video is going into, the crafty counsel of these people, right? And how they set up laws just to hinder us, okay? Let me go back.
From that point in time, the Negro Act, which prevented a future rebellion by limiting the rights of the slaves. From that point in time until 1812, the Gullah were fighting continuous battles against the state militia in Florida. Spain was fighting against the American colonists for land in Florida. The Spanish started arming the Gullah and providing them with military training. The Gullah used this military equipment and training to defend their own free, independent black towns. The first black town in North America was called Garcia Real de Santa Teresa de Merced. It was built by the black man and officially recognized later by the Spanish Lieutenant General Montano in 1738. This black town was a place that slaves could escape to have their own land and receive military training. 1814, Andrew Jackson defeated the Native American Creek Confederation. He imposed on them the Treaty of Fort Jackson, which basically stole their land. So Chief Sakafoka led thousands of his warriors to Florida and joined forces with the mighty Gullah nation. The so-called Indian Wars were actually the Gullah Wars. General Thomas Jessup said, "Throughout my operations, I found the Negroes the most active and determined warriors, and during the conferences with the Indian chief, I ascertained that they exercised an almost controlling influence over them. This, you may be assured, is a Negro and not an Indian war."
See, right there, it's letting you know that, okay, that the so-called blacks were the captains, were the ones who were directing this whole operation, okay? Then you had our brothers in arms who actually helped out and followed the directions of the black commanders, or the so-called black commanders, okay? So it was a joint affair where the so-called Native Americans and the so-called blacks got together and strategically defeated these people, okay? But of course, you know that those type of victories do not last long in a wicked ass kingdom, because the Lord has prophecy set in place, all right? According to prophecy, only the Lord will deliver us from the atrocities and from the hell that this devil is putting on us, okay? Because this is our judgment. But this video is there to exhort you. This video is there to inform you that, hey, we was not just get down or lay down. It's always been a fight, okay? Ever since we came over into these lands, it was never just roll over us. Nah, man, there were men that fought and died, okay, for what we have today, all right? And that's just not physically, but that's spiritually too as well. Look at Peter, Paul, John the Baptist, Stephen, you know, all through the spirit. Jake has been dying, man, by this damn devil, okay? But the Lord is coming back to deliver us, man.
1860, the Battle of Negro Fort. Negro Fort was a structure built by the British and occupied and led by black Gullahs. Andrew Jackson ordered Colonel Clinch to destroy Negro Fort. After they destroyed Negro Fort, Andrew Jackson ordered the torture of the leaders and the enslavement of the black captives.
You see? So these damn devils, okay, they came in, and this is not the only time they did this, man. They came in and destroyed what we built because of their jealousy, their perpetual hatred, man. And let's get that. Salakia, this is all through the spirit, okay? This is Ezekiel 35. Okay, Ezekiel 35 and verse 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Verse 6, therefore as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You see, so the Lord is coming with destruction for these damn people, man. This Isaiah 14 and 21, it says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. You see, verse 22, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant, and son and nephew, saith the Lord. See, so the Lord is going to destroy Babylon. The Lord is going to destroy Esau, man. He's going to destroy his children too as well for the iniquities of their fathers. Okay? So you have to understand, this is Isaiah 14 and 23. I will also make it a possession for the bitter and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the bosom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. Okay? This is what the Lord is coming back with. Nuclear missile fire, chariot fire, race wars, famine, pestilence. Hey, he coming back with straight destruction for all those who know not God, for all those who are proud, man. And Esau is the number one proud demon. Okay? And another precept that I have here is Zechariah 9 and 13. See, because the Lord proclaimed that the race wars is going to happen. All right? This is Zechariah 9 and 13. When I have bent Judah for me, Judah is what? The so-called blacks, you know, the Jamaicans and the Haitians, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay? That's the so-called blacks, Jamaicans, and Haitians. All right? Then it says, fill the bowl with Ephraim. Ephraim would represent, you know, the northern kingdom, right? But also Ephraim is the so-called Puerto Ricans. And it says, and raise up thy sons, O Zion, right? So the Lord is raising up all of us, right? He's raising up the 12 tribes of Israel against thy sons, O Greece. So you have Esau with their tribes too as well. So, hey, it's going down, man. And it says, and I made thee as a sword of a mighty man. See, so the Lord is coming back to deliver Israel and, you know, make us a sword of a mighty man. But this is what's been happening throughout time, right? Judah versus Greece. Jacob versus Esau. This has been going on since the beginning of time, man. But the Lord is changing it up. He said the curses are falling upon them now, right? In Deuteronomy 30 and 7, roughly paraphrasing the scriptures, okay? So let's get back to the video. Because these damn devils take crafty counsel, go against us all day long with their swords. But hey, the Lord is coming back with the sword of destruction for their ass. And that's nuclear missile fire, right? Those are chariots, the Lord's men. He said he made us battle axes and weapons of war, roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. So this is what you're seeing in this video, man.
This was a historical turning point in Gullah military strategy. The Gullah leaders who escaped decided that they would never again use the British strategy of fighting from a fixed fortified position. They decided instead that they would return to using the traditional Gullah method of guerrilla warfare, which involved striking and vanishing.
See, that's the thing. America damn near always loses to guerrilla warfare. Okay, they lost the Vietnam War, all right? They lost the war with Iraq. Every time this guerrilla warfare was implemented, America lost. All right? This place lost. Babylon lost, man. Okay? And this is the custom, this is the fight style of the Israelites, right?
Luring the enemy into strange areas, the forest, the pasture, the swamp. They had the advantage with decentralized warfare because they knew the land better. As more and more slaves fled south for freedom, thousands of U.S. soldiers died at the hands of the superior Gullah warriors. 1818, the Battle of Suwanee. A stretch of towns along the Suwanee River was occupied by a series of self-sufficient Native American and Gullah colonies. Once again, General Andrew Jackson came to terrorize and invade them. The Gullah and the Native American warriors, allied in the swamps, inflicted heavy damage on the invading army. Andrew Jackson was defeated by the Gullahs, however he fraudulently claimed the battle as a victory. After the Gullah warriors and their allies disappeared into the swamps, Andrew Jackson exacted revenge against them.
See, you got to understand, these people are liars, man. Okay? They are liars. The scriptures tell you that in Psalm chapter 58, all right? These people are constant liars. They'll lose a war and then tell you that they won, okay? It says right here in Psalms 58:3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born speaking lies, okay? As soon as they be born speaking lies, as soon as they be born, they speak lies, man. As soon as they come from the womb, they start to speak lies, right? Because their parents, their forefathers are telling them nothing but lies, right? Who is the wicked? According to Malachi 1:4, Esau, Edom is the border of wickedness, man, right? The scriptures tell you in Job 9:24, the earth was given unto the hands of the wicked, okay? So let's go back to that video, man. You can't never trust these enemies. That's what Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10 tell you, okay? These people have been losing, and they're going to continue to lose until Yahweh Shem Yahushua come back and actually put these people out, man. Put the kingdom of the wicked out of place. Destroy it, man.
A nearby settlement of their women and children. Revenge against them by slaughtering a near. After the Gullah warriors and their allies disappeared into the swamps, Andrew Jackson exacted revenge against them by slaughtering a nearby settlement of their women and children. The killing of women and children.
Look at that. Look at that. He couldn't beat the men, so the slithery damn devil went to the women and children. That's why they gotta go, man. Okay? Because they are less than men. Okay? How can you be a man and you in battle and bloodshed and you try to target women and children that are weaker? You couldn't fight the men, so you want to enact revenge on the men by attacking their women and children. These people are bitches, man. The scriptures tell you that they are base men, and he have set the base men above us, right? Because we disobeyed our God, right? But these people are weak, man, and they result to petty, slithery, bitch-ass tactics because they are weak. All right, excuse my French, man. I got hot because you don't understand, man. And for the ones who understand, it irks us, man. It irks our nerves, right? It vexes us that these weak, slithery-ass bitches are holding us captive. That we're in their possession. We can't stand it, man. Okay? And you got to be in that same spirit if you are a man, man. If you are a man, you got to be in that spirit. Okay? We are the only ones on this earth through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that's going to enact justice upon these people. Okay? We are the only ones who can physically protect our women and our children on this earth. Okay? But since we have disobeyed our God, the might has been taken from our hands. So we fall susceptible to weaker men. Okay? To weaker tactics. But don't worry about it. The Lord is coming. And he's going to restore unto us our glory again. And we're going to be glorified with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? So you gotta hold on, men. The ones who are in a warrior spirit, hold on, man.
Was the only victory Andrew Jackson achieved in the Battle of Suwanee.
See, that was the only victory. That was the only victory he achieved in that battle, was attacking a camp full of women and children. But when he went against the men, he got his ass kicked, man. Damn devil.
However, he fraudulently claimed the battle as a victory. After the Gullah warriors and their allies disappeared into the swamps, Andrew Jackson exacted revenge against them by slaughtering a nearby settlement of their women and children. The killing of women and children was the only victory Andrew Jackson achieved in the Battle of Suwanee. This black history was actively hidden. Whenever the word black or Negro or African were mentioned in war reports, the words were simply omitted or replaced with an asterisk. The Gullah Wars were also hidden from the newspapers so they wouldn't scare away potential European settlers. Real American history shows that the black man was destroying the institution of slavery. 1822, the resistance had grown completely out of control of the United States government. In Charleston, South Carolina, almost all the slaves in the area had joined a movement to carry out a massive slave revolt. What white people had not considered is that every time you capture a free Gullah warrior and sell him into slavery, the Gullah warrior will only spread his own knowledge amongst the new slaves he's liberating. This rebellion was to be led by Denmark Vesey and his lieutenant Pt5. 9,000 slaves were planning to revolt that day. However, the revolt never actually took place because cowardly black people involved with the movement informed the white colonists of these plans.
See, that's what you got. That's what you got in this nation. Coon-ass dudes, man. Right? Coon-ass people. The ones who love to be under their masters, man. The ones who love to make covenants with the heathens. Okay? Now, this was finna be a great revolt, but then you had turncoat ass niggas, okay? Excuse my French, they probably get a flag, but you had coons, man, that told their masters the plan. So then watch what happened.
One involved ended up being executed or sold away to another plantation.
So everyone involved ended up being executed or sold to another plantation because these coons alerted their masters. See, you got to understand something, man. 2/3 of us got to go. 2/3 of the nation of Israel have to go. Have to get burned up in that fire because they love this place. They just want to serve this place. They are Americanized, man. Okay, just like we were Hellenized before. All right? Now we are Americanized. When I say we, I'm speaking as a nation. As a nation, 2/3 of us is a big number of the nation. They are Americanized. They want this place to go on. But then you have the elect, the ones who only want to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's who going to be delivered. All these other ones will be burnt up or get killed in Jacob's trouble, man.
1835, the victory over the King Fort Relief, otherwise known as the Dade Massacre. The reason it was reported as a massacre instead of a battle was to hide the fact that it was a legitimate military victory for the black government. Also in 1835, the U.S. Army suffered another defeat at the Withlacoochee River, forcing General Gaines to leave Florida. 1837, Colonel Taylor claimed the Battle of Lake Okeechobee as a victory for the United States. In reality, the Gullah warriors and the Native Americans had already started fleeing the area and spreading the Gullah resistance to other parts of America. The real war that ended slavery was not the Civil War, it was the Gullah Wars. It was Native Americans and black Muslim Gullahs against the white Christian colonists. The so-called Civil War was carried out for elitist banking and business interests, and it also served as a formality, a ceremonial ending to chattel slavery. In reality, slavery ended in America because it couldn't be maintained against the constant guerrilla attacks, and the only way to stop those attacks was to make slavery illegal. The free black man would not tolerate slavery, therefore it came to an end.
Now, like I said before, we are yet this day in our captivity. We have a social security number, a driver's license. These wicked ass enemies came up with something called the Emancipation Proclamation, where only thing that did was transfer rulership. It transferred servitude from the actual slave master to the United States government, which is a corporation. Okay, this is a business. And so these people said, okay, cool. Y'all think y'all just gonna fight us and we'll give you the Salakia. They think that, it's like I gotta gather my thoughts, man. I'm just heated because this is what happened to us. Okay, so these enemies was like, damn, all right, y'all gonna beat us like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be wiser than you guys and make you permanent slaves under the system, under Babylon. And that's why they're going to try to implement, not try, but they're going to implement the MOTB to show Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua that you're with the system instead of with our power. So that's why you should not take that, man. Now, I know this was a drawn out lesson, but it's all through the spirit. Yasharella, we will be delivered. You got to keep fighting. Right now, we got to fight spiritually. Okay, throughout history, we have tried to physically bring down this devil, and we had no luck. But the weapon that we have now is going to bring them down, Israel. Okay, which is this truth. The Lord has given us a weapon that will really bring our enemies down. Okay, and we got to use this truth to the best of our ability. Risk our lives to constantly proclaim this truth, constantly prophesy the downfall of this nation. And before you know it, the prophecies are going to come true, because the prophecies that the Lord have said at old time is coming to fruition. Okay? He said it at the beginning, these prophecies, and they come into fruition, man. So it's a beautiful thing to be in this truth. It's a beautiful thing to have this weapon, which is the scriptures, man. It's the spirit, like Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And before you know it, this kingdom will be physically brought down. I'm going to end it by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rekah Kodash. Double honors once again to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom once again to you men and women out here that's not letting their sins weigh them down, that's not letting their iniquities lift up themselves. Shalom to you because you need it. Our Lord is coming back. Just hold fast and remember to continue to fight the flesh with the spirit. Shalom, Yasharallah. On to the next one.